Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Tesla Roundtable discussion. I'm Mark Schaffner.
I'm Victor Vianes.
Victor, you're standing in for Pete today. He is on vacation in the Alps in Germany.
Nice.
So, that's part of the reason why we have this. He was at the Tesla takeover this last weekend. Have this wonderful Tesla Roadster AI picture with the German Alps in the background, and
Beautiful. So green.
green and the glaciers up in the mountains and everything just looks incredible. I saw him on that Roadster video on he had a couple videos that he posted over the weekend on TikTok. Max is there helping him with that, and it's just so gorgeous. I'm so jealous. Although he looked so Arizonan. I'm sure everybody out there is in short sleeves and shorts and t-shirts, and he's in his Tesla jacket, his winter Tesla jacket with a beanie on.
Right, because it's colder over there now, right?
Yeah. So hopefully he'll chime in with us this time. Got a lot of cool things though. The Tesla takeover this last weekend was a wonderful time. 1,000 people plus there in Flachau, Austria. Over 500 Tesla vehicles there. They had the penultimate part of the show was some 270, 280 cars in a Tesla light show put to music.
That's
Highly
fun.
recommend you guys watch that on TikTok sometime. It was really, really well done.
Sounds like a lot of fun.
It really was. It really was. And so, but the of all that time, since this is the Roadster show, there were 2 Roadsters there is all.
Oh man. But at least they were present.
Yes, and one was a factory prototype, Pete said.
Oh wow.
And
Okay.
and I don't know if it was the factory prototype or the other one that he got to drive one of them as well.
Nice.
Pete also said it was he felt like Sandy Monroe. All kinds of people wanting to come up to him and take pictures with him, and he said it was pretty fun.
Cool. That's awesome.
So now this Tesla is a cool car, meaning it's driving up in the mountains and the cool and the ice. Here in Arizona, not that at all.
No, not the case here.
So we're gonna take and we're kind of running an experiment for the next few weeks. Pete and I talked about this ahead of time as well. And we're not going to go probably the whole hour. We're just going to keep our concentration focused a little bit more. And today's main topic is going to be heat.
Yes.
And the Roadsters having to deal with the heat and everything around that. So I largely, Victor, I'm going to let you drive on it, and we're going to share some stories and just have a lot of fun with this. Please, guys,
real quick,
keep the comments coming in too.
Mark, just 1 sec. Can you come here for just 1 sec for me?
I sure will.
Victor will be talking heat here in just a second.
Okay. Okay.
I'll be here.
All right. Sounds good. So we wanted to go ahead and talk about the heat. As we all know, summer is here. And
I'm trying to look up the temperature right now, actually. Let me see.
I can feel it. I'm sweating already. I don't know if it's the heat or if I'm just nervous.
Temperature.
I can't imagine. I have to wear a hoodie and like a sleeve on my arm because of my accident. So like the heat is crazy for me right now.
So here's our forecast. So we're 103 today is the high. Then it's for the next few days 101, 101, 103, 102, 101. So we're in the triple digits now.
Yeah, we're in triple digits already. So summer's here and it's 110-degree weather coming soon. We're already in the triple digits. So for all of you that haven't experienced the Phoenix heat, it gets hot. It gets really hot.
I prefer the dry heat over like humid heat. And I used to live in the Midwest, so like the heat here is a lot different from
dry.
From
Did it get really hot over at where Illinois, right? In that area, in that Midwest kind of area?
Yeah. So it would get to be like 92, 95, but you also have humidity of upwards of like 50%.
Right.
even higher sometimes. And so like you walk outside and like you've taken a shower, right? And you walk outside, immediately need to go back inside and take another shower. Like it's bad.
That sounds so gross.
What does humidity do to an EV battery? Like not just the Roadster, but maybe just EVs in general.
Well, the EV batteries is coated. It has properties to go ahead and keep it from corrosion, but there's still some bolts and the battery lids. I don't know if off all vehicles, but on the Teslas we do see where water moisture is introduced, and we do see some corrosion on some of the hardware. So that is a thing.
So what does dry heat do to the batteries?
Well, that's what I was kind of gonna go into as far as the Roadsters, because once it starts getting hot here, they're pretty much undrivable. You can drive them for a short distance, a short amount of time, but then they'll start to get warm and power limit. Last year, I drove our Gruber Motor Company Roadster 711 a couple of times, and I live 25 minutes from work, and it was 108-degree weather, and I had to pull over 2 or 3 different times to kind of let the car cool off.
Yeah.
And that way I can get back on and
So what
continue
is
my
that?
drive home.
What did that do when it starts power limiting? You can't go like a certain speed anymore.
Correct. The vehicle goes into a limp mode where it safely shuts down until it can readjust or get back to its operating temperature.
Okay.
So when it gets hot here, some of these vehicles are undrivable. We store them away for the summer, and they don't get to be used until the following year. And me as a driver, I want to be able to drive my vehicle throughout the whole year.
Yeah.
And if you ever been to Gruber Motor Company, visited or toured the facility, we have about 60 Teslas there, and we have one oddball, which is my project car. It's a BMW straight inline 6 twin turbo. It gets hot because it's slightly modified, and I've done everything I can to go ahead and keep the temperatures low. That way I can be able to enjoy it and drive it a couple more months out of the year. And that's what I want to focus on this year, is on the Roadster and being able to go ahead and slightly modify some components in order to be able to continue to drive it a little bit more.
Okay. And the Roadsters, they have that fan that's right down by the road too, right?
Right. So when I drive a Roadster home, it's on the freeway. You have a lot of airflow, and it still tends to get hot. There's heat sinks that are cooled off by a fan, but that only goes so far. Once you reach 115 degrees here in Phoenix, you get some type of like a heat soak. So this year we're gonna do some R&D and see what we can go ahead and do to prevent that from happening. One of the things that we're going to be doing it or have done already, and this is something I think that Pete has already mentioned during one of the podcasts or social media posts, is using high temp heat reflective tape on the bottom side of the PEM. So the PEM sits on top of the drive unit, the motor, that gets 3 times hotter than the PEM does. So we have installed some high temp reflective tape on the bottom of the PEM to kind of reflect that heat coming from the drive unit. That's one of the things that we've tried. Hey, Mark, welcome back.
Thank you very much. With everybody, with Pete gone and weird things happen, we had of all things, we had a Gruber Motors thing that came up. One of our customers has arranged transport for their Tesla.
Oh, I think I know who you're talking about.
And they didn't tell us that they arranged transport for their Tesla.
Oh,
so transport arrived this morning, and our guys didn't know.
Oh, wow. And that vehicle is stored away at our storage facility next door.
So Yeah, this was I believe it's a white Model S.
Yeah. Awesome. Good to hear that going back home to its owner.
It's going to be going back home. We're excited about that.
Yeah.
So anyway, I'm back. So you were talking about the PEMs and how they get so hot.
Yeah, so I was just talking with the guys and with our viewers that during the summertime, vehicles are stored away because they get too hot, they
Yep.
overheat, they power limit, and it's just not safe. I've driven 7-Eleven a couple times during the heat, have to pull off to the side because it overheats. And me as a driver, I want to be able to fully enjoy the vehicle any time of the year. So we're gonna spend some time and do some research and development and how we can go ahead and get rid of this heat, where we can safely drive the vehicles a little bit more throughout the year. One of the things that was mentioned is the PEM sits right on top of the drive unit, and the drive unit gets 3 times hotter than the PEM does.
Oh wow, I didn't know that.
What we've done is installed high temperature reflective tape
Mhm.
underneath the PEM to kind of reflect that heat that's coming off the drive unit. We're still taking data, so we don't have any exact numbers or any information to give right now, but that's something that we're trying. There's also high-powered fans that we're looking into that have a slightly different design on the fins to possibly introduce more air, and or possibly using the infamous scoops on the side of the Roadster that everyone wants to go ahead and use and make functional. Introducing some air induction coming from those scoops is something that we're looking into doing as well.
That would make a lot of sense. If I remember right, even Greg Renda was speaking to us. I think it was last summer. Then, hey, if you ever really want to solve this problem of, instead of vacuuming them up 150-degree air off the pavement as you're driving
Mhm.
across it, just enable the scoops, re-engineer the scoops.
Yeah. So reflective tape, different fans with different designs, and also we're going to be altering the PEM. There's resistors inside the PEM that will allow the PEM to function or operate in a higher temperature setting.
Okay.
So we haven't done that to any of our vehicles. That's something that we're going to want to go ahead and do and offer in the future. So we're going to be doing that to our own vehicle this summertime.
And that makes a lot of sense, and this week is kind of the first week of summer for us, really officially.
Yep, we're in the hundreds already. So.
Yeah, I mean, I overheard Jesse talking about the weather forecast this week, 102, 103, and that's one of the cool is not the right word for it, but one of the unique things about here in Phoenix is, we've got now all the way until maybe the middle of October where we're going to be able to do testing and engineering and work in that 100-degree plus temperatures.
Right.
So it's I see we have a couple of comments here. One from X, Zigimantas Vadakunas, and I probably butchered that name, but he says hello.
Hello.
And so glad that you joined us. Thank you. On Facebook, Khaled Muhammad. Khaled's kind of famous in our area.
Yeah, I remember.
Yes,
that
how
guy.
are you? Khaled was the seller of the 3 Chinese Roadsters. And so glad to have you on, Khaled. Thank you for joining us.
Yep, staying cool. Trying to.
Yeah, keep cool, man. I know that the Roadster is even more notorious than the Model S, but in the Phoenix heat, even the Model S will prioritize itself over its human occupants when it comes to trying to cool the battery.
Right. No, yeah. That's in the summertime when we're driving the Roadsters here, you'll often see that the HVAC system, the AC, is being redirected to the battery because the battery's more important than anyone sitting inside the cabin.
Yes.
Unless you pass out because of the heat, then.
Yeah, I know.
But that's also something that we're going to be looking into this summer and offering additional services, not only to keep the HVAC system cool, but also additional services to keep the person inside the cabin cool and getting the maximum efficiency out of that AC coming out the
That
vents.
yeah, that would be really cool. No pun intended here. To be able to do something like that, keep some sort of climate control inside the cabin.
Because there's deferred maintenance that comes with that. Obviously, we want to make sure that your HVAC system is serviced and recharged and up to the correct pressures, and there's no leaks found.
Right.
But with that, there's also for the roadsters that have hard tops. There's rubber seals that go throughout the perimeter of the hard top to ensure it's a nice seal. We want to make sure that those are still good or get replaced. Those often get brittle, crack, and come loose.
Well, sure. Do you have any kind of estimate of how long those? It sounds like they're almost like a weather stripping seal that they
Yes.
will last on the hard top.
Yeah, it's a weather strip that gets replaced, and that's a fairly easy job. It's a quick in and out.
Oh, okay.
All of these services are fast services that can be done within a day.
Mm-hmm.
For the roadsters that don't have the hard tops, that have the soft tops, we make sure that the cables are nice and tight and haven't come loose or broken to ensure
Okay.
that the soft top has a nice, secured, tight seal and not letting air in. For those that have the soft top, I don't know if you've ever experienced some brown dust coming from the soft top.
I've seen some of those soft tops that have that.
It's all over the place. It's messy. That's actually a foam insulating material that was installed in the
Okay.
soft top to prevent the heat. But after all the years, they've deteriorated, they've dried up, and that's another option that a client can go ahead and take to further assist with the heat and also that dirty mess that the soft top is creating. We
Sure.
have an upholster that will take the soft top completely apart, put in new insulating material that is heat resistant, and also will prevent that foam material from deteriorating again. We don't want the same thing to happen in the next 10 years.
Right.
That will help. And for those that don't have their vehicle at our facility, soft tops can be shipped to us, reupholstered, and shipped back within a week.
Do you have any ideas what the lifespan is typically of the foam in that soft top or the weather stripping? Do they typically last like 8 years or 10 years or?
I would say that around 8 years.
8 years or so.
All the roadsters that have come in
Mm-hmm.
need the insulating material on their soft top redone. I have
Okay.
never had a roadster that come in. Even the low mileage roadsters that have come in, their soft tops have also deteriorated.
Okay, so it's just something that just happens over the course of a few years, and
Right.
it is what it is.
So we want to make sure that it's got a good seal, that the insulating material on the top is rejuvenated or replaced. Along with that is tinting the windows. A lot of our clients aren't really fond of tinting the windows. They want to make sure that that they are able to see inside and others are able to see inside. I'm not a fond of dark tint. I
Sure.
like to be able to drive and get that protection and privacy, but I also don't want to see my reflection
Yeah.
in the mirror as well. So tint is something that we're offering because we want to offer that privacy and the protection. And the film has come a long way. You don't necessarily have to go really dark in order to get that UV protection.
Some of these newer ceramic films are absolutely amazing.
You got some tint put into your car, I believe, last
It
year
was-
because you have the full.
Yes, I have the full panoramic sunroof on my Model S, and we went ahead and did a ceramic tint on the sunroof as
Mhm.
well as the windows. And I hadn't not even thought about it till it was suggested to me. I was utterly amazed at how much heat
Mhm.
last summer did not come into my car through the sunroof. I sit pretty tall in my Tesla. Usually, I'm no more than about an inch or two from the roof.
Mhm.
And
You can feel that heat.
before the tint, there were times when I'm like, you know what? I need to put on a baseball cap. It's too hot on my head.
Yeah, I feel the heat for sure.
And afterwards, I don't even think about it. That was the main reason
Mhm.
I had a Model S that did not have a sunroof, and that was one of the main reasons that I wanted that car as a company car to start with, was because I didn't like all the heat
The
that came
heat.
through the sunroof. The tint has been a total game changer, and I'm hoping to take at some point this summer and actually get the clear tint put on the
Mhm.
windshield,
Yes.
which does the same thing. It takes out all the heat and the damaging UV, but it doesn't change the color of the glass at all.
Exactly. So for the clients that don't really want to make their glass dark and a lot of these cars get taken to shows and events and you want them to be able to see inside, right?
Sure.
So yeah, they have film now that is clear where you're able to not even tell that there's a tint on there and still provide that protection that will save all the important stuff inside your Roadster, like your leather seats,
Yes.
the electronics underneath your dash. You have switch packs that are affected because of the heat, and the tints will not only keep the person inside cool, but help the components inside as well.
I heard that the guys in the shop put a thermometer underneath this dash where the switch pack was at a couple weeks ago. So this is when it was mid 90s, low 90s,
Mm-hmm.
and that switch pack area got to 177 degrees then.
Yeah. That's how hot it gets. So
Oh my gosh.
with the switch pack, we're also applying the same kind of concept as the PEM, and we're playing with high temp reflective tape.
Okay.
To kind of put on top of the switch pack to further assist.
You know, that makes so much sense. If I remember right, it was last summer when we were talking about some of these heat issues that that Pete and I found that it was the power limiting on the Roadster occurred at roughly 145 degrees.
Mm-hmm.
And when your garage, and here in Arizona, it's not this unusual, gets to 120, can get to 120 degrees. I mean, that's a 20 degree variation between sitting with everything turned off and trying to run and generate heat. That's not enough room to do much of anything.
Yep. Heat here for us during the summertime is definitely a problem.
Yeah.
And when it comes to summertime, we don't like to keep any of our vehicles out. We
Sure.
don't keep any customer vehicles outside. So they're all inside. So when it comes summertime and we have all these vehicles in the shop, it can get a little hectic for us. But that's what we do to go ahead and make sure that our clients' vehicles are safe, secure, and away from any possible heat damage.
And that totally makes sense. You know, it's you gotta keep the vehicles cool as much as you can, and it helps to keep them safe.
Mm-hmm. And we got a new storage facility coming soon, so it's definitely helping.
Yeah, that one is so close. We're pretty excited about the EV Preserve. That's gonna be a game changer, I think, again for Gruber Motors, because hey, you guys are gonna have room to work.
Yeah, we have room to work, and vehicles are kept inside, safe, climate controlled, out of any potential damage or danger.
You know, I think you and I were visiting together in that new facility this last week, and I'm sure we'll do a video tour of that before too long. I happened to notice it was one of our 100-degree days. There was no air conditioning on. It was 3:00 in the afternoon. The doors were open and closed, and yet the main warehouse facility was sitting there at about 85 degrees.
The warehouse and the storage facility, the shop, is cooler than what the front office is.
Yeah, it was kind of crazy. Yeah, and the front office was getting up there because it was getting to be afternoon, and I'm so impressed
So the
with
techs have it a little bit. The techs and the cars have it a little bit better than for those that are sitting inside the
yes.
office.
So, but that'll be nice. That whole area being air conditioned, and that'll be very, very good.
Yep. 6 cars there now, with 3 of also 3 of our Model S's that got moved in this weekend.
Oh, okay.
Red, white, and blue were in there. I got a picture of that.
Oh, nice.
So I'll send that to you guys later.
Please do. Please do. So, so you talked about the thermal tape.
Mhm.
We've talked about the resistors. What else is being done, if anything, to we've talked about to help keep these roadsters cool. We've talked about the weather stripping and the hard top and soft tops.
Yep. So the heat resistant foil, the different fans with different design fins, the possibility of introducing air induction using the air scoops on the side, making those functional. All of those are being taken into play to be able to help these cars stay on the road, be able to drive them through high temperature, whether it be the PIM or switch pack or the exterior
Sure.
of the car being the soft top, hard top.
Sure. I could see those side air dams being, not only for the cooler air, but now you're not again getting all the dust off the road or the leaves or whatever else or down, all that debris that you're driving
Getting from the
over.
bottom of the vehicle, right?
Yeah, it gets stirred up as the vehicle goes by anyway, and it's almost like you're stirring things up and then you're vacuuming it in.
Yeah. But yeah, those are the couple of things that we're working on this summertime.
Well, I appreciate you taking time to go through this in such detail. We're gonna, as the summer goes on, let's make sure we have you come back and give us some results.
Some updates,
I'm sure that there will be a lot of people that are interested if we get the air dams on the side to where they're functional.
Oh, I bet there's a lot of clients that have sent some ideas to us, and so it's definitely in the works.
And that's why I'm going to encourage you guys out in the audience as well to email us, ev@gruber.com. Tell us your ideas of using the air dams, or if we get those on, get them up, functional, running, would you be interested in some sort of an upgrade of that sort? Gauging that interest will go a long way toward the type of priority that we put on that versus something else. Sure.
Right.
So, well, we're almost at our half hour already that we were talking about. Time flies, I tell you, especially when I have to take off and take a call. Thank you guys so much for being with us. We've got we're not going to have the AI podcast tomorrow, correct, Jesse?
Nope, no AI podcast tomorrow, but we are going to be chopping up a lot of the footage that Pete and Max have sent from the takeover, so you'll see that content coming out over the next few days.
Wonderful. And the Power Hour is coming up on Friday. I know that soon they're going to be doing a combined podcast with the Power Hour guest and the Communications Wired Hour guests all together at once. That'll be kind of fun. Otherwise, the next 2 weeks are going to be kind of unusual for us too. I'm going to be out of the office next Tuesday and the Tuesday following, as well as Pete. So we're going to take and do a little bit more topic focused, pre-recorded podcasts. It'll be our first time experimenting with that. So get your comments in with us as you watch the podcast, and we'll start each podcast with addressing some of the comments that came from the week before.
Maybe we can just get AI to replace you guys.
Oh, there,
Good point.
Get you an AI avatar, and
people think that we're all AI right now with all the sunglasses and stuff. So, and before I forget, the color of your sunglasses. See, they're not black. They're not black. You bend over toward the car. And that gives people the idea that, as you move, they change color. You've got bright green sides on those sunglasses that, man, they look great.
look black and they look nice.
Yeah, they look black right now. So anyway, take care, everybody. We will see you in another week.
Stay safe.